All right, Oaties, welcome aboard. This is officially the beginning of our European adventure, and our first stop, London. If you're just tuning in, we've packed our bags, kissed the family goodbye, and now we're about to take off and cruise at 30,000 feet as we head across the Atlantic.
And let me tell you, it's nothing but elevated experiences given over here. All the sights, all the bites, and all the vibes. We're about to give y'all a true Royal Oats adventure.
So sit back, relax, and join us as we explore the magic of London, its iconic landmarks, hidden gems, and of course, some royal reviews.
Airplane mode.
Your wheelie bags are placed on their sides with the wheels to the back of the locker to ensure that we maximise space in the overhead lockers this evening. Thank you for your cooperation.
Completely full flight. A lot of Americans are headed to London for the NFL. We are headed to London for our anniversary celebration, so stay tuned.
This was our first time flying Virgin Atlantic, and we learned that they're part owned by Delta Airlines. Our 8-hour direct flight from Atlanta to London Heathrow was smooth, comfortable, and packed with entertainment. Big shout out to Virgin for their expansive in-flight entertainment library and the complimentary headphones. Solid sound, quality, and perfect for zoning out mid-flight.
Now, if you don't already know, flying international with Delta, you get complimentary snacks and a meal, and the food's pretty good. Now, if you're in Zone's main cabin and above, you also get complimentary wine and spirits. I had both, and afterwards went straight to sleep. Down goes Fraser. You gotta love this view of London from the air. It's super dope. Here go a keen fact about London and the 6 major airports that service the city. London's airport system is the world's busiest by passenger numbers and the second busiest by plane movements per day. The only city moving more birds than London is Atlanta, Georgia. So shout out to Hartsfield Jackson in the A.
After an 8-hour flight, some surprisingly good airplane food, and a few well-earned naps, we touched down at London Heathrow Airport. And let me tell you, customs? Absolutely seamless. The automated system had us through in minutes. Honestly, we were stunned at how quick and efficient it was.
So here's some advice for all of you first-time travelers to London, especially if you're flying to Heathrow. Always pre-book your transportation from the airport to the city. If you wait until the last minute, you will be paying around £120 per one-way trip, and that's a lot of money. So, thankfully, I have Golden, who is my forward-thinking queen. She pre-booked our transportation before we even left the States, and our driver was there promptly to get us, and we were in the car and on our way in no time.
The ride into the city covers about 16 miles and takes around 45 minutes, depending on traffic. For us, the final stop was Knightsbridge, a neighborhood full of charm, luxury, and London magic.
As we made our way into the city from the airport, one thing stood out above all: traffic. Hey man, this early morning London traffic is ridiculous. It's not the worst I've ever seen, but I can imagine it's gotta be nuts for the people that's commuting into London for work every day. Bless their heart. Now, the second most notable thing that stood out behind the traffic itself was watching the cars pass on the opposite side of the road. We've experienced this before in smaller countries, but watching them fly by on the superhighways of London was a trippy reminder of a surreal moment. Man, we across the pond, y'all, far from home, you dig? Now, as you get deeper into the city, you can't help but notice the buildings. The classic old London facade with the rich architectural history. The front of the homes made me feel like I was in the story of Sherlock Holmes, you feel me? Every corner was like a postcard moment for real. Passing the Natural History Museum was another highlight. Even from the car, its grand design and iconic details were impossible to miss. It's like a staple in London. You just gotta go by it, even if you don't go inside.
And just like that, we arrived in Knightsbridge. We were staying only 2 blocks away from the legendary Harrods, London. Talk about prime location. It doesn't get more iconic than that.
The ride itself felt like a mini tour of London to us, and honestly, it left us even more excited to start exploring the city.
We arrived at our home base in London, the Park Tower Knightsbridge. From the moment we walked in, we were greeted with friendly smiles and seamless service. Thanks to our Marriott Elite status, we were able to check in early, which was a lifesaver after an overnight flight.
Now let me keep it real with y'all. When we got in the room, we crashed. We got in a solid 2-hour power nap. That was what we needed to shake out that jet lag though.
When we woke up, we felt refreshed and ready for the world. So we hit the ground running with an iconic London itinerary.
First stop was Buckingham Palace, and let's be honest, it's a royal itinerary, so we gotta go to the heart of royal tradition first. Then, the iconic Elizabeth Tower, better known as Big Ben, and of course, the stunning Westminster Abbey. I mean, each spot felt like stepping into history.
Okay, cool. So this is all pedestrian.
Just outside the palace gates stands Victoria Memorial Fountain. Built in 1911 to honor Queen Victoria, it's a stunning centerpiece that feels like pure royalty in stone and gold.
And surrounding the palace, you'll find the Princess Diana Memorial Walk. It's a 7-mile trail marked with about 90 plaques, weaving through some of London's most iconic royal landmarks. It's a nice tribute to Diana, who was widely known as the People's Princess.
All right, Oaties, let's drop some royal knowledge. Buckingham Palace isn't just the official residence of the British monarch. It's a symbol of tradition and grandeur, boasting over 775 rooms. And those gardens? They cover a whopping 39 acres, making them the largest private gardens in London.
So we just walking through the bum-free part. Oh, wow. Dirty Diana. Ow. It's a little walk. We're just out for a little walk about town. Teenage Mutant Ninja Pigeons. That's what we see in London. Yeah, and you got it here first from your Royal Oats. I don't know a whole lot of people from like my circle that's been across the pond without being in the military. So I know a few that's been here, you know, because they were in service of the military. And, you know, it counts. It counts. But I don't know too many people. Evelyn and John, shout out to Evelyn and John, the Averys. Prayers for y'all. Next up is Elizabeth Tower, more famously known as Big Ben. Here's a king fact. Big Ben is actually the nickname for the bell inside the tower. This iconic landmark stands about 316 feet tall, and the clock has been keeping time for over 160 years. That's older than 15 states in the U.S.
And then there's Westminster Abbey. Founded over 1,000 years ago, it's hosted royal weddings, coronations, and even funerals. Walking these grounds feels like stepping through the pages of history.
So after catching some fresh photos in front of these prestigious landmarks, I wanted to get some aerial footage with the drone. So I pulled it out, had it all powered up and ready to go. I went to hit the launch button, and nothing. It wouldn't even start, y'all. My DJI Mini 3 Pro will not lift off. I don't know why. So we are headed to the store so that they can tell us what is going on with the drone. They close in about 20 minutes, and we are about 13 minutes out. Walking. Another Royal Oats adventure. Unexpected Royal Oats adventure.
Thankfully, Google came to the rescue. Turns out there was a DJI store just 15 minutes away in Piccadilly Circus. But they closed in 30 minutes. So naturally, we sprinted.
Now, when she say we sprinted, nah, I sprinted. I was moving so fast, I almost lost Golden at Piccadilly Circus, you hear me? But I don't really blame her though. It's kind of easy to get lost in the beauty that London is when you're racing against the clock.
There's the DJI store right there.
So we made it to DJI together. I didn't lose Golden, y'all. But soon as we got there, we realized Google was way off. Turns out we had plenty of time to spare. And shout out to my boy Z right here, man, because he greeted us right away and jumped straight into troubleshooting the drone for me. I really appreciate that. You a real one, Z.
It's a different place. It is. But there's lots of, you know, urban culture, great food.
Does everyone listen to me?
No.
Most do, but...
Z gave us some good news and some bad news. The good news is there was nothing wrong with the drone. The bad news is we were trying to fly in a restricted area. Rookie mistake. Z hooked us up with some great advice and 2 must-have drone apps. One I already knew about, which is the DJI Fly app. The other one, Drone Assist, I did not know about. So, again, shout out to Z. Z didn't stop at troubleshooting the drone or putting us up on game with the drone apps that we needed. He also gave us some tips about the best spots around London to fly the drone, and then he gave us some dope food recommendations. Rockin' Soul Place, and it is right here. Fish and chips, they say it's the original. So we're gonna get some of that.
We wrapped up our day with an early dinner at Rockin' Soul Place, London's oldest fish and chip shop. And yes, it absolutely earned its spot on our royal review list.
So here we are, cod
Cod
and the haddock.
and the haddock. So haddock goes up. And when it comes to Rockin' Soul Place, we're saving our best details for our royal review on that restaurant. So make sure you tap in and check that out. Trust me, you won't want to miss this one. It's got some exclusive back of the house footage, and we did an interview with the executive chef. So after dinner, we walked off our food by taking a 20-minute stroll back to our hotel. We passed through Leicester Square, Chinatown, and back through Piccadilly Circus. We also stopped to get something sweet from this picturesque little dessert shop. It was okay. We finally made it back to our hotel so we could prepare for the second day of our European trip. We've got a full day tour planned to Stonehenge and Bath. It's got my history buff nerves all riled up. So about to lay it down so we can get up early and get on this bus and bring you guys more content. So until the next time, peace, and remember, let your journey be your kingdom. Lay it on from your Royal Oats. We really appreciate y'all for joining us on this first day of our European trip. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with all your friends and family. And also, if you have any thoughts, questions, or concerns, drop it in the comment section below. We'll get with you expeditiously, you dig? Till then, stay royal, Oaties.